In fact, I'll get to my co-pilot first. Brian Fletcher, how are you?
Going good, Sugar. Going really good. G'day, listener. G'day, Brooks, tourist and special guest.
Yeah, special guest. How do we get you here, Matthew?
Well, what's happened is there's two ways we can do this on a Monday.
Yeah.
I'm in your hands. I can be sitting on my ass in the car park of a service station because I do the podcast with Gronk, or I can come in person.
Yeah.
So I'll just mix and match. A variation.
You know what?
I'm tired, Fletch.
I know. We've had a big weekend.
Have you? Why?
Well, Friday we went out and gallivanted out the footy.
Yep.
Went out to Allianz. It's awesome. Then Matty's mate from Cessnock bought the Olympic. So the Olympic Hotel there on Moorpark Road is like a bit of a white elephant.
Yeah.
Is it?
White elephant.
Didn't know. Walked in and just went, Wayno, what's going on? Like, falling on hard times. You're collecting glasses. She said, no, I bought the place.
Yeah.
And it just sort of went from there.
Well, it's a pub that only really kicks when the Swans or the footy's
So
on.
did you get to the game?
We got to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we hung out and we saw Andrew Abdo.
Yes.
And who else? It was a plethora of stars.
It was.
There was a lot of stars there.
Yes, it was. Geez, that Allianz Stadium, it's something in it.
Oh.
Fantastic. It's awesome.
So was the Likeables there. Everyone,
Oh.
everyone was there.
Oh,
And then Saturday I had my niece's 21st, so I've had a big weekend. I think it's just catching up with me. I was lying down on the concrete floor, and I was just saying it was really comfortable.
Yeah.
I think I've got to go the stiffer bed at home.
Yeah.
good call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Cessnock, I was actually going the other way. I was up there on Saturday, and you're going through all these cow paddocks, and you're going, where am I, right? And all of a sudden, this grandeur sort of complex pops up, and it's Cessnock Sports Ground.
Oh, yes.
It's got the big electronic screen. It's nothing like I thought.
Yes, because it was. That's the new ground that was built. The old ground, our house was basically next door
To the old one.
To the old one, which
Right.
was right in the middle of the city, and then they moved the one out there. My old man for a long time was groundsman out there at the new one, and it was interesting when the World Cup. The World Cup was must have been 2 World Cups ago. The Soccer World Cup I'm talking about. Anyway, Japan set up base in Cessnock,
Did
the
they?
Japan soccer team.
Yeah.
And the old man was the groundsman on the ground. Anyway, he said they walked in, the Japanese, and went, can we relay the surface? And they said, look, the bloke coming out of Lewis is going to cost you $3 million. They said, no worries about it. So the old man resigned on the spot. He said, mate, I cannot basically, take care of something worth that much money. So
Wow.
we quit.
Is that where?
It's pristine. Like I was so shocked. It's a giant grandstand.
Is it fair income grass or the AstroTurf?
No, it's fair dingham.
Yeah.
Is that where your brother and Richard? Is it Richard the cat?
Oh, no, Phil.
Phil
Phil the cat.
Phil the cat. Is that where they used to knock
No,
you out?
the other ground.
No, the other one further out.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
mate. We were the old school one, like
Gotcha.
the original. Yeah.
But what about the big monument they have, right? So I'm expecting to see Johns plastered everywhere, right? And as I'm leaving, there's this little shrubbery. And if you move a few sort of shrubs away, you can see these 2 little plaques, Hall of Fame, Matthew Johns and Andrew Johns.
Yes.
It's about that big.
No statues.
No statue.
No,
Fletch.
I've actually got a photo. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, let's maybe get the listeners out there. Just bit of a what do they call it when you get people to sign stuff? It's so tired. I'm going today. When you doing sign something?
Memorabilia.
No. We're going to get there, Fletch, and say, listen, I'm going to build a road there. I don't want to put a road. What do you do?
Petition.
Petition.
Oh yes.
Yeah, petition.
Gotcha. Patrician. I tell you what, boys. I know Matthew, I've only got you for 20 odd minutes. We were just discussing yesterday. I was enthralled by the Eagles and the Eels game. It was what I liked about it is they were both chancing their arm. We know Manly like to shift coming out of trouble, but on the other side of the coin, the Eels just offloads.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. Man, it's funny, Fletch and Joel early in the game, we're just saying then, Manly really opened themselves up early in the contest. And when Parramatta got themselves back in the game and the game moved into the second half and Parramatta, I think, were leading by 2 points, I sort of get the feeling Manly were only too happy to engage in the arm wrestle. Now, I get they're going set for set. I thought Manly looked their best when they just pushed the ball through the hands, were hitting the edges, not playing like traditional arm wrestle football. I reckon they just went to their shells a little bit too much. But by the same token, Parramatta so far this year they've been outstanding.
I want to ask you this, Matty. So with all that's happened for the Blues, Cleary's at number 7 without doubt. Who's the obvious New South Wales 6 right now? Luai's not quite at his best. Nico didn't have the happiest weekend.
Yeah.
Slight concern around Mo's had a blinder, but
Sandon Smith
Sanders.
after his
Is
game
he?
on Friday night. SS.
There's no real.
Yeah.
There's no real
Like,
standout at the moment.
Cody's clearly not at his
No.
best.
Yeah. I can't name one at the moment. I don't know who I'd pick. I haven't given any thought. Maybe who's the best 6 in the competition at the moment?
Dylan Brown or Brooksy.
Oh, Brooks.
Brooksy.
Brooksy.
Oh.
Now I don't want to make a headline there, but I'm
No.
not saying I would pick him. But mate, if he's still playing, if his football goes up half a step from here, I mean, who knows?
Well, you think Appy would have the front run for the
please.
9.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to talk about combinations, you want to talk about Chow Mang, which I had on Friday night. Goodness me, that was awesome. On the way home.
Oh, did you?
Anyway, I digress.
Yeah. I went to a fast food restaurant at the drive-through variety.
You did.
Yeah, still open at 4:30. So,
Can someone explain why you crave oily and fatty foods the next day after a hangover? What is it? Because you've got a theory about the other thing.
about the
Towiness.
what's that? The
Towiness.
oh, why the
Yeah,
next
what's that
day?
theory?
Oh, probably.
No, your theory, your body sort of.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now
The toxins.
So the first thing that happens, right, when you overtrain or do too much and the body's tired, it's proven that the first thing that the body sort of shuts down is, what is it? The
Libido.
your libido.
Yes.
That you want to, fornicate and get that sort of stuff. That's the first thing disappears. So if you've been on a bit of a Terry Bender, had a couple of days, and you're doing nothing but having a beer, you've got all this energy just backed up and ready to go, and just Bob's your uncle.
You crave, don't you? Just crave fried.
Yep.
Like not pork, prawn cutlets.
Yep.
That's you've nailed it there.
Yeah. What is it?
I could live on prawn cutlets.
Yeah. Why do we have that
Don't know.
desire?
There must be something.
Dr. Mark might know. Boys, quick game of guess who. Guess who am I?
Dr. Mark.
No, I wrote this for a big guest we had on last week. Our next guest is a legend of American sport, played for NBA Supersonics in 1990 to 2003, NBA champion, goes on and goes on. Do you know who that is?
Yes, that is that's the great glove.
Yes.
What's his name again? Gary Payton. So Brookesy got in touch with me last week and said, "Mate, would you be interested in getting Gary Payton?"
Yeah.
And we're like, "Oh." I was like, yeah, I mean, I enjoy the basketball, but I think I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board here and sort of put an interview together. Yeah, let's do it, because Benny Hogarth, big NBA fan. So I've got that. I've just done these unbelievable intros and these sort of like probing questions, and of course he didn't turn up.
No.
So I've just gone into their rundown. And we had him. So I've just used your exact intro. I just copy paste.
Did you speak to him?
We spoke to him.
Oh yeah.
Was he good?
Mate, I'll tell you what, right?
Oh, it's a shame.
So he was all right. No, he's good, but wasted on me because I know nothing about
No.
the NBA. They sent me with Pippen, wasted on me. Longley, wasted
You know
on
who
me.
Pippen is?
Yeah, but I mean, but
His
it's
wife's
wasted
Paul
on me.
Jordan's son.
I
Now.
know.
That's how I know.
What's going on there?
But what
Oh, that's
about?
awesome.
That's enough of that.
Oh, that is awesome. I'd like to be in that locker room.
So what about this, right? So our man here, so he's getting
Talk
real
about a
agitated.
three-pointer. He's going out of the key. He'll be going downtown.
He's getting real agitated. Probably not sort of. We're not doing the interview justice.
Brooks,
Michelle
you
and I.
Yeah.
Right. And you could see him sort of getting a bit antsy in his chair. And then I see him whack his headset down. He comes running in, right? And then he just sort of sits here, puts his headset on. And he's like a greyhound trying to get out of the boxes, right? And then this happened.
Hey, Gary, this is an absolute pleasure, man. My family are from Seattle. I was a Sonics fan from the early 90s. Got to see you guys play over here. You mentioned OKC before, Shug. So the big thing in the NBA, GP, is the...
You suck.
So the big thing in the NBA, GP, is...
Had you met? Sorry, Brooks. Had you met GP before?
No, I only watched him from afar.
Oh.
Yeah. No, because the glove's a bit of a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
GP rolls off the tongue. I had to.
What? How does he get nicknamed the Glove?
For his defence.
Tight defence.
Oh,
Yeah.
Best
He was
defender
in
of all
fit
time.
like a glove.
That was
Yeah.
one of the questions I come up with.
Okay.
As
And
a field, the best defender of all time.
where was he from?
Grew up in Oakland,
Okay.
drafted by the Sonics
And he was just
the year
he was
after
just a
Sean
Mickey.
Kemp, and then him and Kemp formed a combo. It was on the highlight reels in the
Right.
early 90s.
When he sort of ignored you, did you try and fight him like you are fighting another journalist again?
No, I just walked into the back.
Who's
Oh,
that?
okay. Here we go. Here we
Bring it
go.
on.
No.
Get the feud going, please,
This
tourists.
is good. This is good.
Here we go.
Oh, you
Josh,
don't have it.
Josh just said this while Sugar's finding this.
Yeah.
Alcohol depletes your dopamine. As such, the next day your brain is on the hunt for some dirty food or a special cuddle. Oh, that's good,
to
Josh.
know.
So
Okay.
Brooksy he likes to invite himself into a fight, right? So Buzz tweets, "Well done NRL, game decided by a bunker blunder, hashtag the game." Brooksy, he's like there's a voice saying don't do it, but then overcomes
there
on the other side. He goes, "Jake stopped in the defensive line. Is that not the rule, Buzz?" Buzz replies in capital letters now. So now he's really coming at you.
Yeah,
He did not stop the player from making the tackle. Rules are rules, Buzz. He obstructed Moretti. We can't be letting that shit go, Buzz.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you bite?
Was there a reply from Buzz?
That was the
Yeah, the
reply.
reply.
The
No.
retweet in capital letters.
There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
I'm by myself.
Got a
on
feeling
the
someone
couch,
might get a
obviously.
start on
Yeah.
360 tonight.
I think you might. Yeah.
Mate, I tell you, there's one bloke. I know who he is over there. At
Now, Matthew, while we've got you here again, I know you've got to go in 7 minutes now.
Yes.
Brooksy's escaping weekend.
I
See
mean,
you, GP.
South,
GP.
South Sydney, we used to have a guy in our team called, when I was playing for the Mighty Paddo Colts, GP.
Yeah.
Great Penis. That was his nickname.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he used to shower, like we were 13 and 14,
Yeah.
and he would shower nude.
Please tell me he
With-
was 13 14 as well.
It wasn't the
I tell you,
that was what really weird.
who's a GP.
Oh, yeah, that is weird.
Don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Can you remember the first age you sort of
Yeah,
were?
yeah.
Yeah, under 16s, everyone's standing around just looking at each other.
Yeah.
Little place to rub the, anyway.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Gentleman?
No, I haven't
Oh,
yet.
you've got to see that.
GP.
What was his name? Lord Bathingwaite's the 8th. Have you seen? He was GP.
Oh, in White Lotus.
No, in The Gentleman.
Oh, I'm not up to that yet.
How many episodes have you seen?
3, 4.
Oh, you haven't seen Lord Bathingwaite come out?
No, because in White Lotus, he got exposed, but
Is it the same guy?
same guy in White Lotus.
Oh.
In the second one, he used the prosthetic apparatus.
Oh.
So I gather he's done it again.
Oh, GP Central. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. Standing around here when you're 14, you're going, okay.
Well, it was
it's
just weird because some blokes have got Rubik, some
Yeah.
don't.
Yes.
But then when GP and he was just unloaded, and then he broke the dam. From then on, we were
It
just
was
loving it.
all systems go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, these days? Like the old days of just showering nude. I used to ask my boys, many of the blokes shower nude, and they go, maybe Dale Finucane, maybe, but not really. It's not really
No.
a done thing.
Isn't it bizarre?
It's so bizarre.
I played with an RP rank.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But to his
Played a couple
credit,
of those,
mate, to his credit,
Shout out to you.
The-
Andy.
to his credit, he would just be out there the most.
Yeah.
He completely just
And
owned it.
Tommy Broman was like that.
Was he?
Yeah, Broman would go to a new club and just strip down nude and walk out, put his hands up and say, right, let's get out of the way now.
Yeah. That's the best way to
It's
handle
true.
it.
It
That's the
is.
best way to handle
I
it.
think so.
Matthew, let's talk about Friday. Let's talk about Friday night. Just the game, not what
Yeah,
went on
good
afterwards
call.
or before or during. Were you putting a line through the bunnies? In
Oh,
far
Fletch.
as winning the competition.
Oh, look, Fletch, like with the talent, they're capable, but it's such a big, they need such a big change of mindset,
Yes.
attitude. It's just so far off. I will say that, and I said it last week, and this is not a knock on. I thought young Dean Hawkins, mate, he went out there and did his job. There was no way he was going to have a brilliant game because you just can't do it behind a pack of forwards getting beaten like that. But I just don't know. I don't know how they're going to get the impact out of Jack White and they need
In the centres.
playing down a left-hand 10-metre corridor.
Can I say swap them? Just directly swap them. Latrell left centre, Jack White and fullback. Just get him involved.
Jeez,
Just get him out because he's very fit. He's very fit.
yeah.
Get him into the game.
There's
Maybe you could then swap him around like Joel's hybrid game when Latrell comes down to the
Yeah, possibly. But
Sugar Frost on hybrids.
Yeah, but he's not a fullback, Latrell. Yes, he is with the ball. He's elite with the ball.
No, we're going to put Jack back
Yes, no, I wouldn't even put Jack there. You've got a real big case this week. You take it on the doggies. That left side is lethal, right? So currently you've got Jack on the left.
Lethal.
Yeah. Lethal. You've got Kikau, Crichton, Burton and Co.
Yeah.
You've got a big excuse to say, Latrell, we need, or even put Jack across there. We need ironclad centre this week to stop this threat.
But who are you going to put at fullback?
I'd put AJ back there.
Gee, what,
Really?
there's a lot of he's turned a lot of plates, isn't he? At the moment, like we moved people around a week in another position. One thing's for sure. If I watched it a couple of times with Cam Murray, watching the game back, was that look the shape that he likes to play. Go over, you're looking for a short ball or one out the back. That he plays so good with his footwork. It's evidence that they need some new shapes and new systems of play because the other night. They just the Roosters' defence saw it coming from a mile, but just knew how to defend it. So you get on one occasion, JWIS just rushed him from the inside, and then Sammy Walker attached his sweep runner from outside in, and there was just nowhere to go. The play was just suffocated, and that's happened a lot. So they need a big change of attitude, big change of system.
Well, the kick and chase was diabolical. After the first minute, remember how they got the penalty? It was the knock on from I think it was Milne. So Sandon Smith, 2 minutes in the game, didn't have one bit of pressure on him. This is a 5'8" who hadn't really started.
Yep.
He's been coming off the bench, no pressure, and then Milne, for whatever reason, didn't catch it on the full. It was a knock on. They scored from that. But you would think after 2 minutes you'd have a little bit more energy than that.
Fletch, it's a little bit like the Cowboys at a totally different level. Right, the Cowboys are 3-0. But mate, I've really seen a side who, for like a 10-minute period at times, all their energy and all their attention to detail just goes completely out of the window, and then just seemingly out of nowhere it just returns again.
Yeah.
You can't win a comp like that.
No.
Right, and there was a couple of examples on the weekend. The first try to Zach Lomax, terrible defensive read down the right-hand side, but he goes to put the ball in the corner and looks up, and all the Cowboys players just stand around, so he just marches it under the post. And there are a few examples through the game. Kyle Flanagan once got the ball in the last tackle against the Cows, was going to put a kick up, and then went, there's nobody coming, and just wandered forward about 10 metres and then put in whatever kick he wanted to. Compared to the Bulldogs on the weekend, when you watch the Bulldogs going back, they were the best team over the round of kick harassment.
Yep.
So, like, Titans had to fight for everything, and Tino losing him.
Just on that kick harassment, I reckon Kikau in his career, if he scored 30 tries, I reckon 8 or 10 are from a charge down.
Yeah.
He's the best charge down exponent we've ever seen.
Well,
Who?
your man did it your brother, Pricey.
Yeah, not like this bloke. No, but this bloke gets tries out of it.
Yeah,
he's a gun.
Pricey was very good. Yeah. It's underrated. It's so important, the kicking game. So wouldn't teams try and put as much pressure as you can? I don't understand it. I tell you who I do understand is going to go very close to win the competition after what I saw yesterday. Purple.
Oh, yeah.
Purple without...
Yeah.
We know who the stars were out, and then Remus Smith with that. They almost got the cash up there.
Yeah, I know. I was very nervous. Another 5 minutes, and look, who knows? But it just made their hard team to kill off. They just hang in there all the time. And that's what's impressed me about Parramatta, Joel, so far this year, is that in the last 2 weeks they were up against an opposition early that they were under the pump, but they were able to sort of steady it, counter punch. I thought they've looked really, and Junior off the bench is just changing games.
100%. And just on the coaching stuff, so you spoke about that play that South do. Anthony Seibold come up with that, and they're still doing that. He was the one who came up with that when he got the
Block
coaches
for block.
award. But what about the block? You don't ever see this. Andrew Webster, the block for Fonua Blake. How often do you see a front row on the end of a bit of shape?
Can I just say that about when you said some teams are using that shape?
Yeah.
And I know what that shape's called because I was doing something once with way back at Souths.
Yeah.
And they were calling that shape that name. So then I went to another club I was talking about something, and they were referring to that shape, and it had the same name. Yeah. And then I went to another club, and they're all calling it the same name. Are there any secrets anymore? It's like everyone's playing the Roosters way, or the Dragons way, or the Knights way. Surely there is another way.
Is it Coogee Randwick? That was always the call.
Was it? Yes, it was.
Coogee Randwick.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Righto, boys.
All right,
I've got to go to
okay.
a podcast.
Righto, mate. Well done, Matthew.
What's on the podcast menu tonight?
That's a very good question. I'll answer it when I'm halfway there.
Okay.
See you, boys.